Hey guys, it's me David, and boy do I have a fun video for you guys today. We're going to be taking another look at other ways to display your Lego creations, Lego sets, and Lego minifigures. So this is not the first video that I've made about this topic. We've looked at two other companies before this. I'll go ahead and link the first video, which was on minifigures. I'll link that right now on minifigure stands. Second video was on its display cases and stands. I'll also link that right now. And now we're here on our third video, taking a look at another company that actually a lot of you had requested in the comments, which is a company called Brick. They've actually partnered with like Brix, and they're pretty actually widely known amongst the Lego community for their display products. They actually reached out to me saying, hey David, would you like to review some of our products? I said, sure, absolutely. So they did send these products that you see here today free of charge. However, this is not a sponsored video. I'm not getting paid by them or anything like that. So this will be my honest opinion about what I think about their products. And now that I've looked at other manufacturers, other display stands, other display cases, I'll actually have a really good understanding going into this of what's high quality, what's not, what will actually work with your Lego sets if you're interested in other ways of displaying them. So got a whole bunch of stuff here. We're going to be unboxing it, but you know me, I like to make a bigger intro than just having something stay here. So we have to have our table drop. So that wasn't even that exciting. It was like it's quiet. All right, well, anyhow, we have a nice big display stand right here. We'll save this puppy for last. But let's go ahead and go to our top-down camera. We're going to be unboxing this stuff. So let's get this one open. All right, so what do we have? First one. They all come in these black bubble wrap things. Oh, this looks nice. Okay, so just like previous manufacturers, it comes with the wrapping around the acrylic, so you have to take that off, which is unfortunate. I wish it didn't come with it, but I understand why it does. So it looks like we're gonna need our scissors. All right, so we have our first display stand. Took a little bit to get all that plastic wrap off. Again, the reason why they put it on, as annoying as it is, it does keep it like preserved, and so it's nice and shiny and brand new when you open the display stand. So this is their normal flat display stand. This is something I'm actually really looking forward to. I think I have a second one of those right here actually. So you'll be seeing what I'm going to use this for in just a few minutes. I'm actually very excited for a flat display stand, not one that's angled. I have a specific purpose that I'm going to be using this for. Something to note is, first off, with Brick, they have their own little logo here, which is a little brick, which I kind of like. It's also kind of ingrained into the clear part of the stand. But something I really like is the fact that the studs, the Lego studs, are already installed into the top portion. You don't have to really do anything. So it's basically almost ready to go out of the package. You just have to take the plastic wrap off, put it together, and that's it. So it's basically ready to go. So very nice display stand. I should also note they gave instructions too, but I've done this before, so I think I know what I'm doing. All right, so what we'll end up doing is I'm just going to go ahead and go through all of this real quick. We'll go into a little time lapse from top down, and I'll open all this really quickly so you guys don't have to watch me tear off a bunch of wrapping. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Whew. All right, so that was a little more intensive than I had anticipated. Mainly, it wasn't hard to put this stuff together. It's just taking all of this plastic wrap off. It's especially this right here. But anyhow, we have a angled display stand. We have two flat display stands right here. We have a display stand for the Ultimate Collector's Y-Wing right here. This is very exciting. We have a display case. You'll see what this is for in just a few minutes. I'm actually really excited to show you guys this. And then lastly, we have a 78 minifigure display stand right here. This was by far the most intense to put together. Again, it's not really hard to physically put together. It's just literally all this wrapping right here came from this, and you just have to take so much of it off. The display case, unfortunately, the instructions weren't available off Wicked Brick because their site's currently closed because of the ongoing global pandemic, which is completely understandable. So I didn't have access to their instructions on the website, so I actually had to guess it. And from what I could tell, I built it right. It wasn't too hard. You do need a flathead screwdriver. I wanted to actually see if you could go toolless with the display case. I actually used a brick separator because it's got a flat end to it. That actually worked. So if you have a brick separator and you don't have a flathead screwdriver for some reason, you can actually go toolless with the display case. So fun little thing. All right, so it's fun and all seeing all of this empty, but let's put some actual vehicles and minifigures and certain sets into these display cases, stands, and minifigure stands. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. So here's everything put together, all the sets, all the minifigures onto its stands and cases. Gotta say, Wicked Brick has done a very great job with this stuff. I'm really, really liking the look that they've gone for, especially the minifigure stand. It was an absolute pain to put together, not gonna lie, but the results are pretty dang good. I gotta say, this is looking pretty fresh. I absolutely love these stands. This is the first time I've been able to get a gunship on a stand, and it actually works. Got a case here for the ATST Raider, which is awesome. Got an Ultimate Collector's Y-Wing. So we got quite a lot here. Basically, this covers, I feel like, a lot of what Wicked Brick offers. Obviously, they have specific stands for other sets, specific cases for other sets, and smaller and bigger minifigure stands. So, but this kind of hits all of their categories, I feel like. So in that regard, let's go ahead and separate this by 3 different things. So we'll do the stands first, case, and then we'll do that minifigure stand, and then we'll come back with some final thoughts. All right, so we're gonna start with the ships on their respective display stands. Whew, gotta say, right here in the middle, this Republic gunship, this stand right now is blowing my mind. The fact that I can hold up a Republic gunship with a single stand, just, I'm mind blown. I am really impressed by what Wicked Brick has done here with this display stand. It's incredible that I can just use one, and it's actually pretty secure. Obviously, you don't want to forcibly push it over, but in terms of just leaving it on here, I feel pretty comfortable. I think it would be fine to put here on my shelf behind me, and I think that's the biggest advantage. Why would you put your gunship on a display stand, other than the fact that it looks really cool, is the fact that I would gain so much space by using a stand like this. I have plenty of Star Wars ships, like the Palpatine Shuttle, like this TIE Fighter, like the Ultimate Collector's Y-Wing. So many of these ships behind me can now be elevated above, for example, a clone turbo tank right here on my right side. I could put one of these stands in between this vehicle, and now I'm utilizing this empty space right here. So this is a big deal for me, and I'm sure a lot of collectors out there that have shelves, doesn't have to be these specific shelves, will absolutely love the fact that you can put ships like this reliably and in a sturdy fashion, elevate the ships in order to gain free space for more vehicles underneath. So this is a huge win. And on top of that, I think this stand only goes for like 6 or 7 euros, which I think is roughly like $9 or $10. So it's actually one of the cheapest items Wicked Brick sells, and I have to say, this is probably my favorite thing that they sell. This is the same stand being used right here on Palpatine Shuttle. Again, I absolutely love how you just spin it. Look how cool that is. That is awesome. Now, there's no name tags or anything here on the bottom. It does have the Wicked Brick logo, but it's a very simple base stand, but it's a sturdy base stand. Again, you can see right now, I've got these 2 ships. They are sturdy. They're moving, and they're doing a-okay. They haven't fallen once, since I've put them on these stands, and that's been about 3 hours now. So I'm fairly certain they'll be fine on these stands. Now, the other stand here is a TIE Fighter, which is on the angled version of this same stand. So obviously I wouldn't put a Republic gunship on an angled stand. So this is only for something like the TIE Fighter, for example, something that's kind of meant for being at an angle. You could probably get away with something like the Palpatine shuttle here, but I think the TIE Fighter looks really good. It actually has a smaller base stand than the one that's being used on this flatter stand. But again, it looks really good. I like that it's flying upwards. It looks really cool. I could definitely see, I think they actually make their own Millennium Falcon stand, so I could definitely see the Millennium Falcon kind of being in this position as well. But overall, these stands are great, specifically the flat stand. I think there's one thing I have to recommend, it's this, because it just looks so good. Lastly, in terms of ships on display stands, we have this Ultimate Collector's Y-Wing stand. So this is specifically designed for the UCS Y-Wing. In fact, it comes with this cool, clear magnetic piece that has basically the Y-Wing engraved on it. It says the set number, Ultimate Collector Series, and it just it just magnetically attaches most of the time. You do have to be a little, there we go, a little gentle with it, but it does also have a minifigure display stand here, so you can put the 2 minifigures that come with this set, and it doesn't attach, it just kind of slides in. I guess that's so if you want to move the minifigures around, you can do that. You can move them over here or something like that. Maybe that's kind of what they were thinking. Unfortunately, it does take up it takes up a little bit more room on the outside. Not significant amount, but it is a little bit more extra space than I would like. I think I'd rather just have the minifigures be sitting on this part right here rather than it be a separate piece. Now, I like the way this set is angled, as you guys can see right now. I think it looks really nice. I like it. It's a little bit more dynamic than the stand that comes with the UCS Y-Wing. But unfortunately, I don't know. I think it's the fact that maybe I need to look at the instructions, but I had to actually modify the set in order to adapt to the stand, which I don't think you're supposed to do. I had to take a couple slope pieces off here and take off a stud and stuff like that. And it kind of works, kind of doesn't. I think it's the fact, I mean, I tried to get the stand as level as possible on the bottom, and I even used a mallet to get it as close as I could. But I think just if it's a wee bit off on the bottom, it kind of messes up this angled stand that is going for the UCS Y-Wing. So not gonna lie, I'm actually a tad disappointed on this. This might be user error. This might be my fault. I'm not gonna give this. Well, I'm not gonna blame Wicked Brick 100%, but just note that this stand is a little on the wonky side. All right, let's go ahead and move on. So up next is the display case. And as you guys can see, we have the AT-ST Raider set that came out in late 2019. And I really like what Wicked Brick did here. So there's a couple of things going on. First off, obviously you have a nice display case that fully encompasses the set into it. You have a background actually, so you can see this clearly, which is a forest. It's kind of like a nighttime forest, which obviously is very reflective to the episode in which the AT-ST Raider was in, The Mandalorian. So very, very cool. I absolutely love what they've done here. And then not only that, but you have some studs ingrained into the bottom plate, so you can put all 4 minifigures. I am actually missing one of the minifigures. I don't know where I put him. But anyhow, you also get a little display tag acrylic piece as well, which has an AT-ST and the Mandalorian figure set number, and I think also the piece count as well. So that's all very cool, and it's just that little bit of detail that kind of brings this alive. So obviously this display case is meant for this set and this set only. Now in terms of accessing the set, you can do 2 things. You can open it from the top, so this actually just comes off like so. The 4 pieces right here that kind of make the cube shape are connected by some flathead screws here on the bottom. And then not only that, but there's also these little parts right here that hold the screws in are also attached to this bottom plate, which have magnets in it. So I think that's really, really cool. I like what they've done. And then there's actually another plate under this one that also has magnets in it. So there's actually a bunch of layers of plates going on here, which is pretty wild. So you could, in theory, if you just want to, take the display case off completely and just have this plate. I actually do like the presentation of this plate by itself. I like how you have the little acrylic stand here and you have your places for your minifigures. It does look very nice. Again, it all just snaps together with magnets. You take the actual cube part of the display stand and it all just kind of attaches together like that. And then you just put your top piece in. It actually goes a specific way. And there we go. Yeah, perfect. So as you just saw, very easy to put together. The 4 panels did take me a little bit to figure out, but it's relatively easy. Very nice. I do really like it. Just one thing to note is you will need one of these, a microfiber cloth. I'm sure a lot of you have them around the house. You can get them at any local store on the cheap. They're not expensive, but just be prepared to wipe it down, especially once you're done assembling it. You're going to want to spend some time and definitely wipe this down because I had a lot of smudges and a lot of just excess debris left over. So that's everything on the display case. So let's move on to the last thing, which is that minifigure stand. All right, so I think I might have saved the best for last here, which is obviously the minifigure display stand. Wow, this thing looks great. I am very impressed with what Wicked Brick has made here. This thing looks so good. It is an attention grabber. Anybody who's going to come down in my Lego room, immediately their attention, with all of this Lego behind me, this still grabs people's attention. I'm very impressed and I really like what Wicked Brick has done here. There's a lot of little details going on here. First off, I absolutely love the black acrylic with these white clone troopers. The contrast looks so good. It's such an eye catcher. Love it. This is probably the coolest thing I think I could display my clone troopers off of. I have pretty much all of them too, and this is really cool being able to put them all on one display stand. Now, unfortunately, I gotta say, when I was building this, putting this thing together, it wasn't fun. I don't think a lot of you are really gonna enjoy the build process. Thankfully, the end result is absolutely gorgeous, but peeling off all that plastic material off the acrylic just wasn't fun at all. The display stands, for example, the one for the gunship, those had the little plastic material actually pulled up on one end, so it was actually pretty easy to take that off. This, however, none of the plastic was really peeled up anywhere, so you did have to take your fingernail and kind of scratch at it, and you had to do that so often. There was a ton of plastic wrap on this. But again, that's it's something you only have to do once. You won't have to do it again. I do recommend that you use a mallet to put these little, I guess the structural supports on the side here. They're clear. They look really nice, but you do also have to take plastic wrap off those. I do recommend you take a mallet and actually hammer those in with a soft mallet, not a normal hammer, because you don't want to destroy or crack anything. Another cool thing is the actual panels here, they come off really easily. So if you want to do section by section, you can do that. And maybe you want to switch this section right here with this one, etc., etc. You can absolutely do that. So that's really cool. If you have a specific row that you want to switch with, the only one you can't switch with is the bottom one. But I really like it. I do think it works really well. It does look very nice, and I gotta say the design is really nice as well. It is pretty dang pricey. It's not cheap for this stand. I don't remember the exact price, but I remember it wasn't cheap either. But overall, I mean, it looks really good. So, I mean, if you value your minifigures, I feel like this is a display stand you would want to put your most valuable minifigures on. So if you have like those San Diego Comic-Con minifigures or something like that, this is a wonderful way to display it. I think they also have a case for it too. I might be wrong on that, but I think they do. So overall, beautiful stand. The studs that the minifigures stand on are actually included. So that's very nice. They're black studs, so they match perfectly with the stand. And gosh, I need to just get a load of that. It looks so good. And it's very easy to pick up. It's very sturdy. So very nice. In terms of assembly, not so very nice. But overall, I'm very happy with it. I definitely recommend if you want to spend the money on it. Okay, so we took a look at everything. got to say, oh my gosh, I love a lot of this. I am slightly disappointed with the Y-wing stand. It's unfortunate that I had to modify it in order for the stand to work. So I was a little bit disappointed by it. It is a very cool stand. I do like the magnetic plate, the name plate that comes with it. I like how this all works. I do think the stand is a little bit too big. It takes up a lot of space, so you couldn't really fit too much around it, unfortunately, but it does have a nice presentation. But again, I'm a little disappointed by how I had to modify the Y-wing in order for it to work. I think the real winners of all of this here is honestly these stands right here. I think specifically the flat stand for the gunship is by far the most important to me. I've been wanting a stand for the gunships because, as you guys know, if you've seen my Lego Star Wars collection, I'll put that up in the corner right now, you'll know I have a lot of these type of vehicles, not just gunships, but a lot of ships. Coming up second is this minifigure display stand. I did not enjoy taking off all those labels and stickers in order to set it up. You do need like a mallet if you want to properly put it together. But once you do have it together, once you take a microfiber cloth and wipe it down, it looks really good. It catches people's attention. I absolutely love the way my minifigures are displayed on it. Obviously I have the clones and some stormtroopers on it, and they just look so good. They pop on the stand. I like how they're angled slightly in two different directions. Like it's such an eye catcher. And I also really like that Wicked Brick, not just with the stand, the minifigure stand, but everything here includes the Lego studs. And then the actual display case here, very good quality. I do like that the sticker is removable. It's a little hard to actually clean if you put some smudges and stuff like that. Even with a microfiber cloth, it is a little bit tricky, but overall a solid case. It does look very nice. I can imagine that their bigger cases for bigger Lego sets would be just as high quality as this. But like I said, if there's one thing that I have to recommend out of all of this, if you're interested in display stands or display cases or minifigure stands, it's by far this stand right here that I'm using the gunship on. The flat stand that's like really highly elevated. This can be used so often for me, and I think a lot of people out there have tons of shelves that they store their Lego on, and if you want to maximize your space, I think stands like these are fantastic because I can put so much now underneath gunships, and I can honestly say this is a very stable stand, which is so nice. I'm just very impressed. Great job, Wicked Brick. Like I said, I'm very, very impressed by a lot of the stuff that they have sent. And again, I want to thank them for sending it over. I'll leave a link down in the description to their website. Currently, as I'm filming right now, their website is currently down because of the ongoing pandemic. But if you're watching this later on in 2020 or any time later after that, then I'm sure their site will be up and running. So definitely click that link down in the description below. I'll see you guys later. Hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. Bye-bye.